Charlemagne the God, he said that in some school, they're taking things out of the history books as far as like slavery type stuff because some of the kids, the white kids, didn't feel comfortable with the subject, with feeling the guilt of their ancestors being fucked in the head. What's goody, Triumph fam? We back in this bitch. You already know. It's your man Triumphant. So in this episode, right, of Chillin With Tri, there's a war going on, right? So a lot of people don't know that there's a war going on, but there is a war that's being waged against people of color, against black people, and this war is being waged by white people. And I think white people should know that there's a war going on. There's this thing where they kind of get to ignore it. You know, of course there are a lot of black people who should know as well, who should be tuned in and know that, you know, there's a fight going on. There are other ways of waging war than just violence, you know, just, you know, shooting and, you know, like what we all think of when we think of war. You know, there's war going on educationally. You know, there's war going on in the hospitals. You know, you often hear things about mothers giving birth, black mothers giving birth, and there being these problems and the doctor not giving a fuck type shit. Like, there's war going on, but the ones who get to ignore it and say things like, oh, that happened a long time ago, and, you know, it's them, it's white people. You know, they can fully forget, you know, and just live their life like, you know, just, oh, well, you know, I believe there are some white people who will run and like literally trip over shit if you bring up racism and the injustice that black people face in America today. I'm sure of it. They get the fuck out of there when you bring up racism, bro. That shit makes them uncomfortable as hell. And it's like, yo, that shouldn't be the case. Because you see, there are people who believe that there are sides to this thing. And it's really just the human race. Face the music. Don't be in that gray area. Don't be, you know, sidelined with the shit. Like, if you feel a certain way about black people as a collective, as a whole, you should identify yourself because you need help. Being in the gray area should not be cool anymore. It shouldn't. No one should be able to do that when it comes to this because it's serious. Of course, we all want to get past it. That's the goal. Slavery happened, racism. I just don't think today is the day to forget. Charlemagne the God, he said that in some school, they're taking things out of the history books as far as like slavery type stuff because some of the kids, the white kids, didn't feel comfortable with the subject, with feeling the guilt of their ancestors being fucked in the head. It's like, nah, today ain't the day for that. We have to find some kind of balance. I always say fixing the world is easy. Just bring a TV into the room with elementary school kids and middle school kids and show them the truth. As far as religion goes, spirituality goes, and where that all came from. I believe that can really make a big change in the world. Just tell the truth. It'll fix the world. The world should know that Santa Claus is based on a black saint, Saint Nicholas. The world should know where Christmas comes from, what it's all about. It's all this, you know what I'm saying? All this baby Jesus stuff. Yes, that's nice, that's cool. There are a lot of stories. Keep your stories. But let's also know the truth, right? I think that can fix the world. I'm just like, it's not okay to be in the gray area, to be in the middle. You know your punk ass uncle or your old ass granddaddy always popping this shit about those blacks, right? Those niggers, right? You sit there and don't say shit. Your cousin sitting right there with you. Your cousin think this shit cool. Your cousin gonna look at us like we crazy, even though you got black friends and you know that we cool. Your cousin gonna call the police because someone's having lunch at a place where I never see a black person having lunch. Someone's having a picnic at the park, or someone's running. He's running towards me on the track. Being in the gray area gets motherfuckers killed. And it's all because the world needs to know the truth. That we're not dangerous and all that, and all the bullshit that gets taught. I'm just like, it's crazy because they can forget. White people can completely forget. They can choose to just not deal with it while we cannot. They should not be able to be in the gray area, in the middle. That's not cool. And there was another part to the voice memo, because that's where I get my videos from a lot of the times, voice memos that I've done on my phone. I brought up Emmett Till. Women of the Movement was good, really good. I was thinking there should be a movie where they show the life of that girl in the store, the white girl, and Emmett's life. And them growing up, you know, learning how to ride a bike, first love, first kiss, you know, this kind of thing. You know, Emmett didn't quite make it far enough to, I don't know, maybe he had some puppy love action going at 14, right? I know I did. Yeah, so first love, first kiss, first puppy love, you know, first kiss, riding a bike, learning to walk, just showing that they were both kids. And then the drastic, you know, change. We definitely want to emphasize his life and still, you know, keep him as the, you know, the star of the show, the movie. But just something to more so make them, you know, relate to what we've seen. That would be a dope movie. That would be a good movie. Learning to walk, learning to ride a bike, first love, first kiss, and things like that, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know, things that they may have both been interested in, you know, TV shows, right? It showed that Emmett liked the TV show that came on, had him laughing. Thanks for chilling with me.